Okay, so what I'm going to demo for you today is the ability to take any quote that was generated by a CRM, a CPQ platform such as Oracle CPQ or Salesforce CPQ, or any document generated, uh, and then that is then stored back into Salesforce under Notes and Attachments. Part of this setup to allows you to then use Sign Now to send out the document for signing using our Send with Sign Now attachments button. In order to do this, um, the CPQ platforms usually allow you to have fields that are populating in the document, and those fields could be those texts can be text tags that are recognized by Sign Now. Now, if you look over in our documentation, we have all the examples of how to configure this, but essentially you have this kind of text that then is converted by Sign Now into these rows and fields inside of the document once it's uploaded into our platform. And we also have the ability to predefine ordering and naming and so forth dynamic with Salesforce. So in this case here, I'm not really doing anything for the subject and body, so it kind of defaults to the default one, but I could customize it too. But I am dynamically loading the opportunity name into the new name for the document once it's selected and uploaded into Sign Now. So it'd be in this case it'd be a demo opportunity sample document. That would be the new name of that document that we're sending out for signing. We have the signer, which is, I guess, the client, and we have the acceptor, which is probably you guys. And you could also have the emails dynamically loaded if they're under the opportunity or any fields that are lookup fields in relation to the opportunity or to any source record that you're using. In this case, I left it blank because I'll just enter it once I have the flow going. Another thing to mention is that this is highly automatable, so you can automatically send, so you don't need to have any sort of, if you choose to have this loaded via hard coding or via dynamically loading it from the records fields, and you do automatically send, it will just send the document once it reaches the send page and skip to the end. Also, there's an intermediate step where you're able to preview and edit and so forth. That will be skipped, so you can do a one-click solution by checking these two checkboxes. So then you click, and it'll automatically upload the document and generate it and send it out for signing. So I'll show you that right now without the automation, but there's the steps that it takes. So if we click on our Send with Sign Now attachments button that has template settings configured into it, it's basically a URL parameter that you just pass in its ID. We're able to see the list of attachments. In this case, I have the attached document itself that was inside of the notes and attachments. If I select this one, I am able to then use Sign Now to generate the fields and roles for the document within the document and load it into our preview component here. This part right now is allowing us to edit the document and add annotations. And also we have the name. So as you can see, it was this dynamically loaded opportunity name, which is demo opportunity, with that sample quote, which is the text that I had inside of the template setting. If we click on edit, this allows us to modify things such as add more text, add more fields, add more roles if we choose to the document, and have more more than just what was generated by the text tags, let's say. But in this case, we don't want to change it. I just want to show you that it creates those fields. We have a signature field, we have a print name, title, and date. And the same thing goes for the acceptor party, I guess. But for now, we just leave this blank. Annotations is the ability to pull the information from Salesforce and hard code it into the document itself. So if I, let's say, type in opportunity to Unity dot, I misspelled it, opportunity dot name. That opportunity name would be populated into the document into this place here, but for our case, we don't really need that. If I click next, I'm going to be sent to the data pushback part of the flow. This part allows us to have the mapping from specific fields from sign now into the records fields. So what that means is that, let's say the name of the signer. So if it's the signer role, right? And I type in here name, and I set up the source record to opportunity, and the user fills out this text field inside of the document, that information is then reflected into Salesforce and updated. So the new name would be whatever the user typed inside the document, and that will change from demo opportunity to whatever, let's say they type in a new opportunity, yeah? And then it will change the name to new opportunity. But in our case, we probably don't need this. So I'll just keep this blank, and I'll go to the next step, which is the setting flow. All of this can be automated, which via just having the template settings. So you don't necessarily need to define all of it through typing. And here we have the two roles. The first party is the signer. They receive the document first. They fill out that document, and then we have the acceptor role, which is, I guess, would be you guys, Logicalis, or whoever it is. And that would be the second signer, and they would receive it only after this first signer fills out their section. We have advanced settings. In this case, you can set passwords, expirations, reminders. Allow forwarding allows you to select the specific, allows the person that received the document invite to forward it to someone else if they are not the right people to fill out the document. Let's say that there's a client and they're just the party that is, or the person that is in communication with someone, but they're not the person that is allowed to fill out the document. They can, if you set allow forwarding, they can then forward that invite to someone else with, let's say, their manager to fill out the information, and the email would be reflected under in the statuses and in the document under the new forwarded email and not the first one. So this allows users to kind of, if they're not the right people, they can forward it to the right people and so forth. But in our case, we'll just keep it simple. So we have the subject and body, and this was the basic sign now email subject and body. Let's say that we are the signer, the client could be one email, and then the second one would be another email for our demo. And we can send this out. And I will shortly receive messages to open documents for signing. Cool, so now we're the signers. We need to open the document, and we'll see that we're only filling out part of the document and not all the roles, only one field. So that this should be the signer field. We have our guiding tool that guides us to where we need to fill out the information. I can date it. I can add a title, let's say engineer, name, mayor, which is my name, I guess, and then signer. I can draw, I guess. That would be a cool tool we have. You can type it also if you choose, or you can upload a picture, but drawing is cool. So I'll keep it as a drawing. And then when I select done, there will be another email that will be sent out to the second party, which is the acceptors in this case of the quote document. And they would be able to fill out the information in a moment. Yep. Cool. So now we're able to open the document as acceptors. We see that the signer is gonna has all the information filled, and we'll be able to then fill out our part of the. So this is what the signer filled, and we can sign. Okay, we saw that it was signed, confirmed, right? So we can sign it, confirm our name. So let's say confirmer name, a title, manager, I guess, and date would be automatically populated. I can press done. Now, if we go back into the opportunity record, we'll see that the status under the record is actually set to, in the status view, it's fulfilled. We'll have a copy of the signed and sent documents once that fully syncs with the data. So once this loads and all, it will sync it all automatically. There's remote triggers that are happening. In this case, I'm running it on my local instance, so I have to refresh to have the data reflected. But on the live instance, it's actually done automatically without refreshing. So in here, we saw that this is signed. Both parties signed the document. The date that everything was fulfilled, and a date that is sent and signed, and the time. In the document itself, there's a full audit trail. You can see who signed when, and where, and what. So you can see it here. All the IP addresses, all the server times, the client times once they open the document, and so forth. What text they added and what time frame. Also under the signature fields, where we have the timestamp and marking that confirms that this is what the time and the ID of the signer and so forth. Yeah, so once that's it. That would be the gist of having the document sent out from the opportunity or any sort of record into from within Salesforce to the users. Fill that information out. You can choose to have the data update Salesforce dynamically, or append information from Salesforce into the document, as I showed previously. And it's a pretty powerful tool that a lot of people really like to use. So thank you.